And hello there, this is Isix with a kind of different video, We're going to be doing a timeline of a game I've done outside of streaming, because I wanted to do some things. I'll explain that in a moment. And sort of announce my next series of EU4 streams, and also maybe talk about some of the bugs that I've noticed in the current update of Europa Universalis, Europa Universalis 4, in version 1.20, the Ming update specifically. And I'll get to that after perhaps the timeline, because for this particular game, I was normally going for 2 achievements. One of them was the one where you play as Kazan or Nogai. I play as Kazan in this case, and unite the Tartar culture, which is all sorts of stuff over here. Kind of wish it didn't have the borders there. Anyway, what you call it? So I managed to accomplish that. Also got the first of the new achievements that are all sort of the timed achievements to basically form the Great Horde before 1500. The Great Horde before 1500. Now there are several other achievements like that, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But for the moment, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves some Kazan here. Yes, we'll actually go a little bit faster than that. So, early expansion down to Nogai. Have a poke at the Great Horde. Little poke at Muscovy. Slam east, slam west, slam the middle. And slowly but surely get everything united, culture-wise. After taking out Theodoro, finally. Another poke at Muscovy to form the Great Horde, or Golden Horde. And then start digging my way east. Yes, digging my way east. Now, I think around this point, I believe I became a tributary to Ming, which was useful for a couple different reasons. The biggest of which was that if, as a deterrent for people declaring war on me, for one. Did not necessarily prevent it, but discouraged it. Second, it allowed me to eat up their various tributaries without really anyone getting too much problems. Now, there were issues, of course. I still got coalition, which I'll spend a little bit into in the bug report section after this. But it was not so bad. Just like, oh yeah, 3 development land in the middle of the steppe. Who cares? And getting close to around this point, I started making use of the fact that Ming decided to break my tributary status to basically hurt them. And I hurt them a lot by using, well, their tributaries against them. As you see, if you declare war on a tributary, and Ming comes in, you take a chunk out of Ming, leave the tributary behind. Then you attack a different tributary, and then do the same thing again. And you can basically cycle through this every, 2 to 4 years, depending on what your sort of schedule's like. And then bam, Ming's gone. Didn't even have to become emperor. At this point, poked a little bit more out in Asia, but it's a little bit more active on going after the Ottomans, because also going for another achievement, the one about the horses and the having 200 grain provinces. Now, there's a lot of grain provinces in this game, but having actually 200 of them takes a little bit of doing, and it wasn't until a little bit further along here, right around this point, that I actually managed to get the achievement. So yeah. Should also note, as we sort of get out of this, that Muscovy is actually under personal union under Great Britain. So that's why I didn't finish them off at some point here. They were also allied to Ottomans for a while, which is kind of annoying. But anywho. So let's talk about those bugs there. But first up, we'll look at the achievements here, just sort of show off what I managed to get done. So yes, I'll graze my horse here and here. Yes, Golden Empire, enacting the Golden Ages of Empire, which is actually very useful for using the counting country a disaster to its most effectiveness to get maximum absolutism for my current government without lots of tag switching. Absolutism, got 100, got that going. A Gold Rush, formed a Golden Horde before 1500, managed to get that. Tartarstan, managed to get that one. And also tear down the wall because I was in Berlin. In fact, Berlin is not part of my territory, but it's on the border. Give me one. I start speaking too quickly. Suddenly I'm like, oh, I have to cough. Anyway, bugs. So the big one, which is why I've not gone further with streaming Ming campaigns, I decided to go do this sort of effectively as a test campaign, was crashes. Playing as Ming, as the Emperor, was causing some issues. Yeah, I was getting crashes. I restarted. It crashed again. I restarted. And in fact, I only have the one stream highlight up on the channel here, but I have actually tried it a couple times, and, well, let's just say it didn't turn out very, very nice. Anyway, other sort of, I guess, issues, the aggressive expansion with tributaries. It doesn't, when you're doing a peace deal, you know, it's like, yes, this person will, you know, coalition you and you get this much expansion. If someone's a tributary, they don't show up in the list. So, I guess I don't have any right now. There were several points where I was getting like 100 and some with some of the guys down in Southeast Asia here, and also had like, I don't know, 55 with, say, the Ottomans over here. And it's like, yeah, they're, you know, suddenly coalition appears. Like, wait, uh-oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen. Crap. But, you know, I, as I said, you know, was allowed to kick out some territories that I was completely surrounding, so they were unable to really do any real lasting damage. Like, yes, Delhi's back. Well, I completely surround them. No one can take them out, so... Anyway, other bugs. So there was the main crash, the aggressive expansion, battles with no units. That was a weird thing. I might toss up a little bit of recording I did of that specifically, but I've had a couple times now in very different situations where the battle's proceeding and I'm actually losing, and then all my units leave the battle, but the battle doesn't end. Yep. Battle keeps going, and the enemy just keeps attacking empty lines, and slowly but surely both sides keep ticking down morale. Now, because for some reason, despite not having any units actually in the battle because they're dead or something like that, I don't know, I still have morale, and so does the enemy side because they still are engaged in battle despite not fighting anyone. And so slowly the morale of both sides ticks down, and it's really kind of up in the air who wins. Yeah, if they get some bad rolls, then maybe they just sort of give up and leave. It's also sort of affords opportunities to I hate phone calls to build recording. Anyway, where was I? Yes, crashes, tributaries, battles, no units, yes. So, yeah, it's battles, no units, and, yeah, if it lasts long enough, you can actually reinforce, so then the battle returns to normal, kind of, and you might still win, or lose. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, other bugs, war call weirdness. So, as the Golden Horde, as a Horde government, you can have, or any sort of Horde government, technically, you can have tributaries. And I have had a few throughout the campaign. And so you see this lack of Holy Roman Empire. Well, technically that's only partially true, because I've decided to tributize all sorts of people in Germany here. And so that's what some of the weirdness, with one more thing I want to talk about bug-wise that I've noticed. So Switzerland had attacked, they're one of my tributaries, they attacked Tuscany. Now Tuscany was also a little bit of a fight with Venice over here. And Venice vassalized them. And so Switzerland was like, well, we're now fighting Venice. Because they are now in charge of this war. And it's kind of a defensive call now, but not really. So I got called in, despite it being an aggressive war from Switzerland, which shouldn't happen. So Venice and their allies, Tunis, France, the Knights are also probably going to get called in. France for sure. Tunis was hanging out on that war, and I believe the Knights, who is also one of my tributaries, huzzah, would also be called in. But that's where things got a little weirder. So France has certain allies, Knights have certain allies, Venice has certain allies. Heck, even Tunis, who wasn't involved in the fight, also has certain allies, including me. But for some reason, I believe Siena was being called in, despite not having any relations here, and also being one of my tributaries, as well as Ryukyu, who's not friends with any of these fools. They are one of my tributaries, but that's about it. Yeah. And so I was being called into war against that lot in support of Switzerland. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that shouldn't happen like that. So that was a thing. I turned them down, took the prestige hit, whatever. Who cares? You know, it's like, yeah, Switzerland. I'm pretty sure you're not working as intended, and if so, then they should really, really clarify some of the rules there, as far as the Paradox folks goes. But yeah, so that's that. So this campaign was kind of lengthy. I was, as I said before, I was trying to test it out to see what sort of, well, most importantly, crashes there might be, as well as bugs to possibly avoid if I can manage. No, with the whole the empty battles one with no units, I'm not sure that's one I can really avoid, since I've also seen it in various situations. In fact, I played another campaign as Mali, because there's a really easy and quick achievement you can get with them, and also saw it there. So it's not like, oh, you have to have tributaries and you have to be fighting in this configuration with this, you know, condottieri or someone's mercs or something like that. No, it's very different there. Anywho. So let's talk about the next campaign in EU4 here. I kind of like the speed achievements here. So there are several of them, and I'll probably get to streaming those, maybe even today. Maybe they're even streaming right now. Who knows? If you want to check out my Twitch stuff to catch the early viewing of it all, make sure to you know, look me up on twitch.tv on Dr. Isix. So the same name as I have here on the YouTubes, except, you know, on Twitch. And yeah, make sure to hit the follow button and to turn on notifications so you can get informed when I'm streaming and all that sort of stuff. And I'll be going through basically all the Rush 1500 goal ones that I haven't gotten. I've gotten now 2 of them to, you know, form the Golden Horde before 1500, and the Big Blue Blob, which is to have France have 100 provinces, which I streamed but I didn't put on YouTube. So, you know, there was some issues with the exports. And so I'll be getting the rest of them, because there's a bunch of new achievements that are basically that with different countries doing specific things. I believe there's one with DI Vet to have so many nations of your religion. There's Tuangu, which is to unite the Burma culture group, which I should probably check out what that's about. I think it's all these guys. Yeah. Yes, Burmese. So basically, I would need to take a big chunk out of Ming, because Yi and Bai are part of that, as well as take over Tibetan, which I didn't realize that was all part of the same group. Anywho. Mon. Interesting. Khmer groups. Khmer you. There's one ad plays Dahomey to basically kick all the Sunnis out of the Sahel and Niger regions, which are these 2 here. So I guess they can stay over here, but you have to push them out. Well, that's easier said than done, as it were. There's one more. Portugal, yes. Basically, get a presence in Africa, Indonesia, and India before 1500, which seems like the easiest of the group. But we'll see. We'll see. So I might be sort of doing a series of shorter campaigns along those lines, just sort of knock them out, and also to learn to up my game. Yeah. Because though this particular campaign could easily be a world conquest, the largest nation other than myself, I'm pretty sure is France. Yeah, they are, I guess, 4 wars at most. But because I'm, you know, a horde, I can, you know, decrease my aggressive expansion or my overextension easily and take like 150% war score. It's like, oh yes, it's actually only 80% overextension here after I do all my magic. So I could world conquest with this, but I'm not going to. I'm still saving that for a special campaign. Anyway, yeah, so feel free to check that out. Anyway, until next time, everybody, this has been Isix. Toodles. Woohoo!